Nothing should happen in January.
No.
I do not enjoy it.
It's terrible, man.
It's a hibernating month. Drive up to Skye, I went the Fort William way. So
Yep.
I went up to Fort William, had a wee break.
Had
and
to
then
fight my mother for that way
had
as
to
well.
fight. Well, no, to be fair, she came round to it and it was
Aye.
Bob
No, the
that was
woman
against it.
gaslit me. I swear to God.
40 Benson and Hedges gold, mate.
Oh, hello, friends, and welcome to the Sad Girls Club podcast. Woo! Have you been chucked? Patriarchy getting you down, cry behind your pal Amy's garage and ruin the New Year's party again? Well, you're in luck because you've came to the perfect place where you're allowed to be sad about the big things and the small things. So we'll just kick it off. This evening, I'm your host, Hannah Elizabeth Morton. I am joined by
Emma McDougall.
and
Amy Clark.
our special guest star this evening is
Susie McCabe.
Yay! Thank you so much for joining us, Susie.
Listen, I've got lots to be sad about.
It's
Heroes the space.
This
Yeah.
is like cheaper than therapy.
Yeah,
pretty
man,
much,
like I'm
so-
44, so there's something to be sad about. Tell you what happened to me the day I was in the supermarket and I actually had to stop myself because I went, I'll just buy that for Christmas. No, I'm 44. I've become
I saw this on your Instagram. Actually, I was going to ask you about it.
every woman in my family ever. That's it, man. That's it. Soon you get to that level. Like, I would always be like that, you know, in October. Oh, I just get chocolate oranges in for Christmas, knowing absolutely full well I was
not gonna make
tanning
it.
the chocolate orange that night, right? But actually sitting going, right, so he likes a bit of turkey on Christmas Day, so I'll maybe just get a wee turkey joint because nobody else will eat the turkey, and I could just get that
I could
the new.
just freeze it as
And I
well,
could
and
just
then that'll
freeze
keep.
that, and then that's it. And I'll just take it on Christmas Eve while I put it in the oven. Aye, that'll be
Easy.
smashing. Aye, I don't need a big turkey, just a wee joint because enough I waste in it. Enough I waste.
You've literally just described my mother.
I was gonna say, it was a very good impression of
My
Elaine.
mother has, so she's very known for her wee minding. That's what she means.
wee minding.
She's, I think it's the, what is it, love language? She's a gift
Yeah.
giver. But actually what she wants is the praise for being a gift giver. She wants you to go,
Validation.
she wants you to go, no, Elaine, that's ridiculous. And she'll be like, no. But she's got a cupboard in the house called the present cupboard that's full of crap. Like, absolute, like,
All
bag
the
of
mindings.
bag of chocolate coins, a good Connell in there.
Yankee.
Honestly. And then even at Pantos.
I bet she's not getting away like a Joe Malone.
Oh, absolutely not. She'll be keeping that. If I don't get that in my stocking, I'll be raging.
Aye, and you'll no burn it.
No, that's the thing.
Smell it.
They just sit there. We got.
When you know you're rich, when you're burning Joe Malone
I know.
candles, man, innit? You're like sitting there with a £50 note, like
Honestly,
just like that. I need
Oh,
bother,
well,
man.
Susie, we're just back from a big
wedding.
wedding in Skye,
Right.
and there was a big sort of thing about what the favours would be.
No, I called it.
You did
did.
call it.
I called it. Our friend Daniel, whose wedding it was, works in Sky Candles or used to work in Sky Candles. So I was like, any money, the wedding favours are Sky Candles.
I had on a
Little mini
gig
Sky Candles.
in the cinema.
Your face was everywhere.
Oh,
Are you not doing another one? No.
yes.
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 I'm
You're
there.
like, oh yeah, mind that.
Yeah, I'm there on tour. 23rd of November, I'm there.
Punt it.
Punt it, 23rd of November, Sky.
The Sky Candles Centre.
The Sky Candle Centre, so they totally renovated that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful.
Great room for comedy. They've got these beautiful wooden like arch ceilings, but it's also the cinema, as what normally happens when you're in kind of small town,
Yeah.
kind of provincial Scotland. Like Fort William's got an amazing cinema.
we went
Which-
there.
We
for
were there
lunch.
for
Did
on the
tell
way
me-
up to Sky.
Did you go to the Chinese in Fort William?
No, we went to the restaurant, and the owner came up after and was like,
Biggest Tory.
I own this place. I'm just wondering how everything was for you.
Do you have any complaints?
Yeah, and then I was like,
my-
smashing.
My
I was
mum was
everything's
like,
fine, everything's lovely.
the pizza was a bit cheesy actually. I was like, Mum.
David was like, no, it's fine. He's like, he wants to know. He wants to know.
Amazing. No,
But the cinema it looks gorgeous
it's
in
beautiful.
Fort William.
Beautiful. A philanthropist left them the money, and they got a £5 million cinema, and the locals can just say, "Oh, do you know what film I'd like to see?" And they'll get it.
Yeah.
in.
They'll get it on.
They'll get in because it'll just be like one film because it's for like a week or whatever.
That's
Sounds
amazing.
lovely.
But me and Christopher MacArthur Boyd on it. He was my support act at the time, and I think he's actually now went. But he
Yeah, he
went
was just back up, wasn't he?
and done his show in it. but there's a little tiny red sports car in it, and me and Christopher are not the tallest. So me and Christopher have got pictures of me and him in that sports car, like Thelma and Louise. But yes, and the Sky Candle people,
Yes.
can't remember the guy's name. He's one of the owners.
James? Is it James or Jamie?
And I think it's James and
George.
They're brothers, aren't they?
Yeah. Very
And they-
handsome men. I have
Very
to say.
handsome from
They were
Glasgow.
at the wedding.
Went up there. Totally renovated this place, and backstage. So they got me. It was Paul McDaniel who was supporting me that night,
Oh, yeah.
and they got me and Paul pizzas, beautiful stone baked pizzas.
Oh, we
had those pizzas.
And they got us like these. They gave us these like beautiful candles,
Yeah.
just as a thank you. And I
Oh.
was like, so
It's
Ask for a
wedding.
wee tour of the backstage area. It's lovely.
It's
No, you
so
just went
nice.
and broke in.
I
pretty
just
much.
went. Can I see the candle making area, please? And I got to go see it.
Amazing.
Amy got a
That's
free t-shirt.
also one of the most Catholic things I've ever heard, and you're probably not even a Catholic. Just like, now see where you make the corners.
No,
Like
but they
you're
were,
doing in Lourdes,
they
guys.
were all on
Where'd
the
you make the plastic Virgin Mary?
Sacred workshop.
Aye.
but they were all on the table. They were just wee ones, and literally, my mum left with about 9 in her bag because
Oh,
everyone
everyone's
wanted them.
pockets were like
Running
jingling.
about like it's low boy candles in the 90s, man, just stuffing them into her
Honestly,
bag.
I'm like,
Honestly.
I was like, oh, I didn't get. I forgot to pick mine up. She was like, no, it's fine. I've got yours in my
it's
bag.
funny.
Don't worry,
And
I've
when I
got
say
them.
got it, I've got it.
You can come round and smell it.
9/10 of the law.
But then the next day, your mum went to Sky Candles and she bought all her Christmas stuff.
Aye, and then she brought Dan out from like, it was the day after drinks that was sort of starting there. He's hanging out his arse, and she literally was there, Dan, you'll come this way, I'm getting your discount. Dan had to stand there while my mum was
Discount time.
ransacking the
Love
shop.
this, man.
It was mental. But anyway, Susie, we usually start with you've jumped the gun here.
Sorry.
No, you were like, I'm sad because no. So we usually start and we go around the circle and we go, what you sad about this week? So Amy, I'm going to start with you. What you sad about this week?
Oh,
I never start with you.
I know. Now I need to think about it.
That you're knackered from partying too much at the weekend.
Yeah. Maybe that is it. That I've smoked too much. I'm so disappointed in myself. We
Amy's
came back.
mum, please don't listen to this.
Oh, she doesn't listen anymore.
Caroline's fine.
We came back and we done karaoke, and my
I mean, by
voice.
karaoke.
Had you turned into Bonnie Tyler?
It was shocking.
Amazing.
I couldn't even
Even your
hit it.
voice right now.
Right now, it sounds like I sound kind of cool actually. But like, we got back,
40 Benson and Hedges
Yeah.
gold, mate.
honestly, I got back and we were going up the stairs after karaoke. I was like, I'm actually so upset with myself. I'm actually so disappointed in myself. I'm always the one to be like, can I sing karaoke? Because I fucking love to sing. And I was
Amy's
like,
a cracking singer as
I was
well.
like,
and
Nobody
this
Nobody
night
likes that
she was
person
not.
at
no, I know,
karaoke.
but I love me at karaoke.
I've got my wife's one of her oldest friends, and certainly one of her closest friends, sober, is a tremendous singer. Right?
very
Like
good.
honestly, like tremendous. Were you drinking her? No, that great.
Oh, then
Really?
really? That great. A bit
And
pish.
Aye, and you're like, how's that? Because surely
It gets a bit.
it's meant to
Confidence,
improve.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a singer myself, so I shouldn't be judging.
Are you one singer, one song? Have you got one in you?
I've got. I don't look back in anger in me. Or I've got a stone
You
roses
sang
You
in
did
me.
that
that at the Sad Girls after
So
party.
you did. So you did.
I
Yeah.
was steaming that now.
Everyone was.
Everyone
the
was.
shots. Was I
That-
not buying
literally-
these shots?
It was me and you, Rosie at the bar, and she built me up and said, "Oh, no." She gave me
Sambuca,
no.
that's
She,
what
she gave
drinks.
me a shot of fucking Fireball. I was
It
like,
was
"Oh,
Fireballs.
Christmas," and then it was Sambuca,
Aye.
and then you put me for tequila.
I'm murder
and
for that.
It
Me,
was
Rosie,
atrocious.
Rosie, and Krista ended up in the best kebab place. And let me tell you, that is false advertising.
I mean, I think the whole of
Best
Glasgow knows that. Like, but I know for a fact, so Krista's my boss and a friend of mine, but like, I know for a fact when she's been out with you the night before, because Krista, I think, used to be a big partier before our wee boy and all this sort
we
of
all
stuff.
used to be big partiers.
You're still a big partier.
No, it just looks that way sometimes. I go through peaks and troughs of sobriety because I go, right,
Why
I'm
did
writing
I
a
do
show.
that?
Like, so next week I'm meeting my mate for chicken wings, and then we're going to have some pints in the Merchant City, and it's like a Wednesday afternoon, and I'm like, this is going to be amazing, right? Because I know I'm going to be in my bed at like 8 o'clock, right? And I'll have a cracking sleep. I was out the other week with my best mate, and oh man, it was ridiculous. And then I'll get on to what happened to me on Friday. But it was, Aye, so it kind of can look that way, and then I don't for absolute ages. Like, I don't leading up to the shows and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Very
I
smart.
don't like, I tend not to drink my birthdays in January, and I'll sometimes just have sober birthdays. Because
January's a hard birthday to have, I think, as well.
May 21st.
Oh,
So I am the 5th week of a 6-week pay cycle.
Oh, God.
It's fucking hard. Isn't
Oh,
it,
even
man?
I went to a wedding
Waiting
in
for the
January.
birthday
Getting micro fillets, man, for a birthday present and all that. It's so bad.
The way this year, but it was just January there. It was my sister's best pal's wedding, and it was like something like the 20th of January, and I was crawling into this wedding. I was like, I can't do that. I think it was the week before the programme launch as well for Glasgow Comedy
Yeah.
Festival. So it was like all systems go, no days off. Oh, but you're going to this wedding on the Saturday. And I was like, I can't think of anything. Did I go and drink far too much and was the drunkest person at that party? And when I showed up to breakfast the next morning, I got a round of applause. Yes, I did.
Yay.
But I honestly was like, no, nothing should happen in January.
No.
I do not enjoy it.
It's
No.
terrible, man.
The hibernating month.
Emma, what are you sad about?
I am sad, and you gals will know this. I am sad about the drive home from Skye.
That was brutal.
I mean, we're talking about
Beautiful drive,
overindulging.
though.
It's well,
Okay.
Did you go the bridge or did you get the ferry?
no, we
Oh,
got the bridge.
Right. It's like a stunning drive.
There
It's
was
a
a
beau-
weather warning this day.
Right, so here's the thing. Let's tell the tale. So we went drive up to Skye. We went the Fort William way. So
Yep.
we went up to Fort William, had a wee break,
Had
and
to
then
fight my mother for that way
had
as
to
well.
fight. Well, no, to be fair, she came round to it, and it was
Aye.
Bob
No, the
that was
woman
against it.
gaslit me. I swear to God, she was on the phone to me. She was like, "Oh, so what time's Emma picking you up?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, 10, and she was pure 10. I want to leave at 11. I was like, Mum, we're in separate cars. It doesn't fucking matter.
Go when you
And then
want.
she was like, no, I wanted to drive in convoy. And then I was like, oh.
That's cute, though.
Like I was like, okay. And then I realised what happened was that she'd made a plan in her head, spoke to no one about it, and then was upset when we didn't do the plan because she was like, well, what way are you driving? And I was like, oh, the Fort William way. The Fort William way. And
Your
then
dad was like, I fucking hate Fort William.
like, it was
How
so
can
weird.
You hate Fort William,
It's
man?
the
weird.
tiniest
We had a great
town,
lunch.
like-
It's the most transient place as well because people are going north and they're going west and they're going south. Like, people are either going somewhere or coming
You're never
back.
actually
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Fort William.
You're only in Fort William like at most a night.
Aye. But honestly, and then that was it. I figured out that her whole plan was that she wanted to drive the other way, like past Perth, because she wanted to stop at the House of Brewer
Well,
for lunch.
there's your issue.
That's
there,
what she
Elaine.
wanted to do.
Fucking nobody needs tweet. What are you? A time travelling Doctor Who? Behave yourself, Elaine.
But then that was it, and she was made a whole fight about it, all this sort of stuff. And then as soon as she met us to drive in convoy, and she was like, so what way are you driving? We're like, Fort William. She went, yeah, no, that's the way I want to drive. And I was like, am I in an alternative universe? Have I had a stroke?
No.
Like, because I literally was like, we fought for 35 minutes on the phone while I was in my work. And she was going like, no, we have to drive this way.
You
Blah,
fought
blah, blah.
35 minutes to go to Fort William. I have fought 35 years for LGBT.
One Jamaican
yeah,
Hannah.
sure.
I know. You pipe down.
I know. But we
Your
then,
mom was on that journey with us all.
an ally. She's an ally. But then we came back the other way.
Yeah, so we went the Fort William way, had a lovely weekend, and can I just say, Elaine put me in charge, Susie.
Quite right.
Because
Didn't
she went
trust
home a
any
day
of
early
us.
and she was like, you're in charge. And I was like, oh my God, Elaine sees me. I'm in charge. So whenever
It just shows how low she thinks of me.
Well, listen,
I've got a couple of years on
I've
you,
had
so it's fine.
videos for Elaine, right? And I'm not being funny, but
That sounds a bit sus there.
not
Susie.
dodgy videos. But
Nice videos.
Nice videos. And Elaine's been merry. And I'm telling you, if Elaine was there, she would still have put you in charge. That's how she rolls.
I was dead chuffed, but there'd been a weather warning, like a red weather
aye,
warning for the winds, storms, rain, and they were like, you need to go back that away, the A9 way, because it's safer roads.
Yep.
All this. So we
Yeah,
were like,
because there's there's landslides that can happen in
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
roads.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
so we went. We left about 11 when it was nice and
We also
calm.
did a huge pub crawl the day before, so
Yes.
maybe that didn't
Yes.
help the situation.
That was also the worst. That was the mentalist night of the whole thing.
As you can hear.
Wedding was actually very like
Civilised
fine.
and
Like,
calm
we
and
got
fun.
too drunk, all that
There's
sort
a
of stuff.
Keeley sweating out the
Oh,
alcohol
the
for
next
the
fucking
Keeley.
day, that's when
Next
we-
night was mental.
It's
Anyway.
every pub you go into in Skye, though, there's always like somebody's just like, I've got a flute. Then
Yeah.
somebody's like, wait a minute, I've got a drum. Oh, and you're like, wait a minute. And they're like, no, it's not that type of party. And you're like, all right, okay. And then they're like, oh, well, I've got a violin.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, oh, we're all the Corys, right? Okay.
There was a band that were playing, Susie. What was the name of the pub we were in?
Oh, it was like a number.
Where was it?
1820.
1820, and I think it's the Brook band.
Brook. Don't know.
They were phenomenal.
I don't
They
know
were
if they
class.
were. I think we were.
Oh,
just
I've
really
listened
drunk.
back to the
think
video
they were
sober. They were
class.
good
I
fun.
think they were class. And right, get back to this because we're
I know.
sidetracked.
We're sidetracking.
It's what we
Anyway, they were
always
very
do.
good. We were a bit hungover. The drive home was beautiful.
Yep.
Missed all the bad weather.
Missed all the
It
bad
was
weather until we got to
completely fine.
Glasgow.
Great time of year as well to do that.
Yeah,
trip.
all
I
the
used,
colours.
yeah, I
You kept,
normally
Amy was like, "This is so
tour-
beautiful."
Yeah, I normally tour in the autumn and it's stunning, man.
But I was shattered,
Yes.
and it was 3.5 hours before we stopped of just windy roads.
Yes.
It was
It
bad.
And
was like
I was like,
something out of a horror film.
And to be fair, had it not been for these two gals and Hannah's partner David, I
He
would
was
have just.
fucking asleep in the back.
And he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
fucking fuck
I
you,
was
David.
singing. I was singing
You
every
just-
musical.
You've just
The
got to-
morale.
Oh, I'd have fucking put you at the car. I'd have been like, I'm gay, but I'm not that gay.
I've
No,
got
Amy's that gay.
I don't be culturally appropriating me.
I've got a playlist called Rosie and Susie's House, and it's from when all the music they play at their parties. So I did put that on as well. 'cause
Hey.
I listen to the
You
inspired the drive.
It's not me. It's not me. It's a different Susie.
A different
It's a
Susie.
different
Oh,
Susie.
I know. No, they.
Let's not start any of those rumours.
Actually,
no,
Susie,
Rosie is my mate.
SUSI, which
Yes.
is my
Yeah, because you guys know each other
Yeah,
through
yeah,
just
yeah.
life.
my godmother
Is my pal.
is your pal.
It's my pal. Go to the
Pal
gym.
and strictly pals.
Aye,
We don't
aye,
live together.
only ever been pals. Aye. Years and years ago, Rosie used to be my boss. Like a million years ago. And my partner, who has a dog walking kind of boarding business, looks after their dog, and me and Rosie go to the gym together. That's what
Go
we
to
do.
the gym.
No, we do.
No, she
we
does
do.
because I went out to Rosie the other day from walking the dog in the green. She's like that. Oh, and I'm still sweating. I was back 3 hours.
Honestly, so funny. I'm like, right, maybe we need to do bicep curls. She's like, nah. And I'm like, then we can do the ones you like. And she's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
It's a pure trade-off. Every exercise is a trade-off, man.
Well, is that so? Just to let you know, Susie. So we do like a Woman of the Week every episode, and right after you had your heart attack, you were one of our Women of the Week.
Amazing.
Because I saw you at the Fringe, and you were straight back on it,
Doing my show.
and you were doing your show, and you were doing what
Your
you
mum
had to
came
do.
to see me at Fringe by the Sea.
She loved it. She thought you were 10 times better than. That's her opinion.
Is that going to get edited?
We can
'Cause,
edit that out, that's
Fuck, you'll
fine.
have to, because otherwise, you just can't be. Men are so sensitive.
That's really I'll bleep the name. That's
Aye,
fine. Producer
aye.
Paul. I know producer Paul. No, but she loved you at that. But we were talking away about like how you just got back on it and you were ready for it. So is that why you're doing all the gym stuff? Is that are you?
No, I'd started that before. I'd been doing that for like 18 months before. And had the heart attack, which I'm going to kind of talk about in the new show, right? So I won't go into it too much.
Yeah, save your material.
But yeah, I think there is that thing as well, like, where you kind of go, I've used up a lot of tokens, man. I've used up a lot for a long time, and I've absolutely chanced it. And but yeah, I mean, I'd recovered. I had the angioplast, all of that.
Was
like,
it a stent you got?
No, because your dad's got a stent. So no, I get the angioplast which went through that little tiny
Is that not
little mark.
mental that it goes through your arm?
It's wild. You can feel it. You can feel it when you go through the clot. So yeah, and then I was just like, I spoke to the doctor and I was like, can I do the Fringe? And they're like, how'd you get there? And I was like, drive. And they were like, nah. And then I was like, oh, what if I get the bus or the train? But my doctor was Scottish and studied at Edinburgh Uni. And she was like, that walk is a killer walk. That's hills. And I'd rather you didn't. And she went, did you get nervous before? I says, well, no, because... No, it's not that I don't get nervous. I said it's a different kind of tight. It's kind of show excitement as opposed to nervous.
Yeah.
I said, because I do all my work kind of from now to March, and then I take a little bit of time off, a couple of weeks off, and then I ramp it up from May to August to prepare for Edinburgh. So I said, but all the heavy lifting is done October to March.
Aye.
That's
Yeah.
when I'm writing and practicing and getting everything done. Once I do the Kings in Glasgow, like I'm like, right, okay, that's cool. I can take some time off.
Do that,
Do you know what I mean?
can
So
chill.
then you're sitting with a show that you've presented in a massive theatre, and you're sitting going, right, well, I know that all works, and I know that this worked, and blah, blah, blah. That when it actually comes to Edinburgh, I'm not getting in with that stress of going, oh my God, I don't know if people, like, I genuinely at that point don't care what reviewers think.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've just played this to 5,500 people
Yeah.
4 months ago, right? I've been down here doing all my fringe previews, and now I'm in Edinburgh, and the only actual opinion that really matters right now is the paying punter.
Yeah.
Is that punter who's came to see me, they've paid whatever, and what you need to realise as well, and I don't think a lot of comics, I don't know, maybe they do, right? But I think there's a thing where a lot of comics are like, I didn't enjoy that because, right? And you go, well, it doesn't fucking matter if you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because you're at your work, right?
Yeah.
And this, it's great if you can enjoy it. It's great if you go out and you have a ball. But you're not telling me, like, at Christmas time, in the fucking middle Wednesday in December, and it's all pensioners, that you've went out and went, that panto was the best ever. You've not, do you know? Because it's just, it can't be.
Oh, my mammy
Yeah.
talks about it all the time, where she goes like, there's shows that she's done, and you do, and it's just your job, and you go in, and I think that's a very good thing that I've taken from her, being like, it's work.
Yeah, no.
And you're not doing it for fun, you're doing it because it's your job,
'Cause
and
it's
it's your
your job.
craft. But she says that she'll get halfway through, like sometimes like big musicals she was doing and all this sort of stuff, and she says she'll get halfway through something, and she figures out that she was going, yeah, and I'll get Hannah those jammies from
Yeah.
Marks and Spencer's,
Exactly.
because
Because it's
and what
kind of
will I have
second-
for my tea?
Second nature to it at that point.
And it's almost worse, like
Yeah.
coming at, like going, oh fuck, I shouldn't be thinking about that, or I should be in the moment. It's actually better that you sort of do the autopilot.
Yeah.
I
and
also
you go-
think it's that thing where you just kind of need to go, this isn't about you,
No.
Yeah.
right? This
No.
is about, and obviously acting's different for stand-up.
But to be fair, acting 101 is like, don't make it about you, make it about the other person.
Yeah, and
It's
also
not about you. Like,
make it about your fucking audience. Like,
Yeah.
And I'm sick of like kind of having to say this to people, but you, so it doesn't matter if you're at the Fringe, right, or if I'm at the Kings. So if I'm at the Kings, I think it's for like a seat in the stalls or the dress circle, I think it's like $28.50, right, with the booking fee, right? So if you bought 2 of those tickets, you're the best part of 60 quid. So you go, right, 60 quid, oof, right, okay, right, we've got the tickets, I bought them for a birthday. There you go, right, I'll take her out for dinner, right? So we'll go for dinner. So it doesn't matter if it's your mum or your partner or whatever, right? So I'll book a wee restaurant, right? The show's at what, 8:30, right? I'll book the restaurant for 6. So if you're in the restaurant, you've maybe spent 100, 120 quid. You've got the train in, but you need to get a taxi up the road. So maybe your taxi's 30, 40 quid.
Literally.
So you're now at £150, no including the tickets. Then you've maybe got the babysitter at 20, 30 pound. And you're sitting going, right, so you're now the best part of 200 quid before we add on the ticket price and any in-venue drink or in-venue snack.
Yep.
Anything like that, any post-show drink that you're spending money on, anything like that. So you're maybe going between £200 and £250 for a night out if you've went all in like that, right?
Some
Now,
people get hotels and everything.
some
like,
people,
literally.
they'll come up, they'll get hotels, they'll blah, I'm just going to make a weekend of it, blah, blah, blah. And that's totally, that's amazing, right? And there's nothing better, like, it's so nice when people message you and go, I can't believe it, you were part of my Christmas, right?
Yeah.
You get a ticket and stuff, and you go, that's amazing, right? That's so nice. But this is for you to put on your show for them.
Yeah.
And they've backed you. Doesn't matter if you walk off it and you go, I don't think I was really on it the night, or I didn't enjoy that the night, or whatever.
Or I've been funnier than that, or like,
Aye.
blah, blah, blah. Like,
And see all that stuff, like you can self-analyse and was I tired? Was I knackered? Was that right? Do all that and analyse within yourself, like, did I sell them short? Do I think I sold them short, right? And you work that out. But to walk off a stage and go, I didn't really enjoy it, and you go, well, that's not for you. They fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah,
they had the best
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Right, because you know what? You'll enjoy the money when it comes into your bank, whether it's paying a fucking electricity bill
Aye.
or you're buying yourself something nice.
Yeah.
Either way, you know, and you need to get over that. Like, it is work. It's like people going, do you know, have a wee drink for you go on stage? And like, what is it you do? I'm an architect. Or, do you think you're working a Monday with a bag of cans? You
I mean, I fucking wish I could. But
know what I mean? But
no, 100%.
you know, and
But if you did that every night as well, like it would just be
you just
knackering.
become boring.
I mean, don't get me wrong. At the Fringe, a lot of people do. It's more the after
I
bit
don't.
of it. Do you not?
I don't. So this year,
I never saw you in Club Bar.
No, once I was in Club Bar and it was the final Saturday and I had done 2 shows and I was staying in Edinburgh that night, and a friend of a friend who's now became my friend has a house about 10 minutes from my venue, and she wasn't there, and she said to my friend, just give Susie that house, just give her my house to stay in, because that'll be too much. So I was kind of on and off, staying on and off. And last weekend I was there and I had 2 shows on the Saturday, 2 shows on the Sunday, like solos, because I wasn't allowed to do any extra shows. So I'd done them, and I went into Club Bar like with David and Al was there, who runs Unique Assembly.
Yes.
Right, so, and just went in and had like two pints.
Very
And
sensible.
bounced up the road.
Yeah.
Like, just
Very
like,
good.
nah, it's all good. Like, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I don't do that at Fringe, because why? Right, imagine if you worked for, I don't know, Sony, right, or Philips fucking lighting or something, right? And they're like, right, you're going to come to Rotterdam. We're going to have a 3.5 week exhibition, and you're going to need to do a presentation every single day.
Yeah.
And it's all different people, so it's not the same people. So you do the same presentation day after day after day, and you're on it every night.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to pan out?
Yeah.
Exactly.
By the end of it, you'll be just.
And then you go, I cannot believe that I have not had a television opportunity in your life. Mate, see that line you done at 5 a.m? See that 8th pint that you had?
Literally.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Just go to your bed. Mate,
I
what
know.
age are you?
I know we were quite sensible when we were as sensible as you could be
At the Fringe.
at the Fringe.
Oh, I would say so. Like,
But
Yeah.
our show was at 1:00, 1:30 or something like that.
Or the panto was at 11 and then we
Yeah,
done
so that
Sad
was it. We
Girls
were
at
doing
2.
a panto in the morning, and then Sad Girls at 2, which was a fun turnaround. But it was more that like
Where did you do them?
a Gilded Balloon.
Nice.
So that was
At Powderhouse.
Powderhouse and
Powderhouse
TV.
and TV. So that was 2
we
years
changed
ago.
Oh
Very
yeah,
good.
that's right. That was 2 years ago, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That's when we had the
That was
chat.
when you chat to me,
We
yeah.
had the chat. So
And the one thing you
The
said
chat.
was, avoid the artist bars.
every time.
Avoid
No,
them.
the loft part, like, don't get me wrong, loved it. I've spent a lot of money in there, like all that sort of stuff. But like sometimes you're like,
It's not
and
for
even
me,
with
no.
club bar as well, like any performer sort of bar, it's like you're told like, oh, this is where the party's at and this is the thing and blah blah blah. See the day that you end up going shite. There's like nothing happens,
See
or
the whole idea that you go into these bars
You
to
network,
schmooze,
uh-huh.
right?
Schmooze
My
and
worst
network,
nightmare.
hate it.
Worst nightmare.
Now, bearing in mind, I had a whole career before I done this, right? And I would need to take clients out, take them to the football, go to corporate events, like dinners and all that, right? And I fucking hated it. I got on with who I got on with. And, you know, you would negotiate the contracts or whatever. And I remember the first time, so my agent is called Off the Curb, and they're pretty big, and they've been very kind of consistent in having big acts from the 80s, right, all the way through. And I remember my first Fringe as a Curb act, and it was my first year at Assembly. And straight after my first show, somebody for the agency went, "Come on, we'll go into an artist bar and we'll get a drink." And it wasn't that artist bar that I would have went to, right? And I was like, "Oh, right, okay." And I remember walking in and just being like, and they'd went and got me like a Diet Iron Brew or something. And I was like, "Here, see, before we start this chat." I was like, "Dan, you come in here." They were like, "No." And I was like, "Right, never ask
again."
me in here." Like, I've never been to Off Bar.
it's
Never
a
been there,
weird
right?
vibe.
The only one I'll go to is Club bar at Assembly, because I'm an Assembly
Aye,
act.
we were there.
But also, during the day, you can go in there and work away.
No, it's actually quite,
'Cause
it's
there
almost
are-
a wee bit better for that.
Because there's no really acts in there. Do you know what I mean?
It's during the day most of the time.
Aye, but even at night time, it's like you go in, there'll be like a couple of folk for Radio Foley, you know, and maybe somebody like who's producing shows on behalf of an agency, like Fiona, Felisa, Richard, or something like that. So you go in, you'll get a wee chat and a wee cup of coffee, and it's a nice bar. See if you've got a VIP. It's a really nice bar to take a VIP
Oh,
into.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's nice and they get no hassle, and
Yeah.
it's full of. And the actual punters that are in the bar next to it are also really nice punters because
Yeah.
they're Assembly punters.
Yeah.
So you lose all kind of bammery, and it's just
I
it's
do
nice.
feel like that's what it originally was there for, is that sort of like,
Quieter
right, it's a wee bit
space.
quieter, it's blah, blah, blah. But because we did the food festival before
Yep.
the festival actually happened. And so we were sitting in the beer garden quite a lot
Yeah.
before it became, like before you could barely
Aye,
move in
aye,
it.
aye.
And that it was like, then we would go to Club Bar and I was a wee bit like, no, I actually fucking preferred that. Like sitting in a beer garden, chatting the chat with folk, like all that
Really
sort of
nice,
stuff.
yeah.
But it was easier to go to the performer bar or whatever. But then actually there was nights that I would like sort of look around, the person I was talking to somebody else, all this sort of stuff, and I'd be like, I'm going home now.
Aye.
Like, I'm away. And it was always, as soon as you left, that's when, oh my God, you missed it. Like, Dara O'Brien was in and all this
See,
sort of
with
stuff.
that stuff,
and I'm
it's
like,
like, then you'd never leave and
Uh-huh.
you'd never get a minute.
don't get me wrong,
That's
I feel
why I
like-
kind of hate like your phone like that when you wake up the next day and you're like, oh fuck, I missed that. But if you hadn't seen it, you wouldn't have cared.
yeah, yeah.
But it's like that. It's like, oh, you missed Dara in Club Bar. And I was like, yeah, I've just done fucking cocaine with him.
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's all right. Like
Fine.
literally, like what, 6 weeks ago, I'm fine.
Aye, I'll
Also,
catch him next time.
What do you think that man or any, you know, would like? It's nice if well-known people come to your show, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a real honour, and it is like for me, like a few football players have been to mine and stuff, and I've really loved that. Do you know what I mean? Because that's my heroes, you know. And it's lovely if it's somebody that you respect or you admire, whether they be from, I don't know, just industry, or whether they be from sport or politics,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. It's great, right? If somebody you like comes and sees your show, standing having a pint with somebody in an artist bar.
What's it going to do?
It's not the
No,
same.
and I would then start to feel quite uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, you're not my mate.
I know, like, I'm so sorry, I'm taking up so much of your
It's
time.
awful. I done a showcase at the Tron not long ago, and after
Tron
it,
in Glasgow.
yeah,
Yeah.
and after it, there's all this because it was a big graduate showcase. So it was like
Schmooze, schmooze,
it was
schmooze.
like everyone got a free drink and everyone was there to do the same thing, and like it was that way. It was like 150 people in the Tron bar.
Tron bar,
It's like,
tiny.
can't hear a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I was literally like talking away to somebody, and then I was like, I'm so sorry. I can't hear a thing. I just had to be so honest. I was like, it has been lovely to see you, and I'm so glad you came, but I can't hear a thing. I need to like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want to go to another pub? Do you want to go across
Yeah.
the road to a pub?
Honestly,
Aye.
the thing I just do is like, can I drop you an email tomorrow? Because I'm so tired. That thing as well, like you come off from performing, you're on this big high, and then everyone wants to talk to you, which is like appreciated, and it's obviously a different scale for you as well. But it's like it's that thing of like you're just so tired inside as well. It's tired, but then like adrenaline from performing, it's like a weird mix of things.
Yeah. And it's the oxytocin and the dopamine and all that, like leaving you, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, after Fringe, when we did Sad Girls Club at the Fringe, it was like, yep, and we kept going, and people come see you, and you have a drink, and you do all this sort of stuff, and there was highs, and there was sold out shows, and there was like shows where a guy fell asleep and a woman walked out, and all this sort of stuff. And then it wasn't till I think I was so fucking skint as well that because we made enough money but no money and all that sort of stuff, and I had to go straight back to my bar job, and I couldn't stop crying, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to chuck myself down some stairs? What's going on? And I realized no dopamine in my brain left. I'd a month and with 2 weeks rehearsals beforehand and doing everything and running about and getting it all. And I honestly was like, oh, the chemicals in my brain are just gone.
Yeah.
Like,
People say that, you know, after fringe, I've got the fringe kind of depression and the blues. And I'm always a bit like, wow, if you... Because here's how I look at fringe, right? If you hadn't taken the stuff, if you hadn't done the beer, right? Because you go in there, Wednesday, Thursday previews, right? So everybo's here, everyone's in Edinburgh, you can't move for bumping into people, yeah. And I'm like, I've had pals all my life. Right? I
Don't need any more.
humble
right
brag.
for 'em,
Susie's
alright.
got pals.
I'm all right for pals, right? And then it's like, I no bother, right? That's great. So then Wednesday, Thursday go out. Friday, first sold out show, right? Because it's weekend.
Like-
Great. Saturday out, great. Sunday, may as well. Monday, 2 for 1s, sold out. Tuesday, 2 for 1s, sold out both. Wednesday, you're now 1 week in and you've had the best part of a week on it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's, and then come that next, like that, the Thursday, you're sitting, you're like, why are they getting reviewed and I'm not? Why is that? Or why is that? Right? So see if you just go in, do your show.
Yeah.
Do what it is that you're there to do. So for me, I'm there to make people laugh. Go in, make people laugh. Up the road.
Yeah.
bedtime.
Up the road.
Actually, that's
Cup of
that was
tea.
you, Amy.
Sit and watch your telly. Wee biscuit. Just be like, get up late. Go for a walk. Like, get some air about you. Get some sun in your face. Go back. Get a nap. You know, eat well. Sleep.
Touch grass.
Sleep when you can. All the time. All the time.
I
Really
did
meant.
not
Susie,
eat well
I
during the
realised
fringe.
You sort of went into like a wee bit of why you're sad and blah, blah, blah. But what are you sad about this week? We've not actually asked that yet. I know, it's a big one.
It is a big one.
Uh-huh.
So last week I had a pretty terrible week in the sense that I went to see a friend who's not very well and they're probably not going to get any better. So I went to see them and that was really hard. Because it was really hard to see them and it was gutting. And then on Friday I went to a funeral of someone who was taken from us like that, right? And I was at that funeral and I'd spent 2 weeks of being involved, not in the arrangements and stuff like that, but just being in the family, but being in the out, because there comes a point, I believe, that even when you're in a family through marriage or whatever, when people are grieving and it's immediate to them, you can be a support by putting a kettle on and taking a step back, right? Because it's not
Doing the
that
wee
you
Or just being there.
yeah, just be there,
When
but,
they need you.
but be that step behind. You know, just be like, I'm away at the Lidl.
Yeah, I'm
know-
not sure of no bread. I'm going to bring you some.
Aye. Listen, why don't we go for something to eat? Right, that kind of, listen, the fridge is full or the washing's done, whatever it may be, right? You just make sure that the little bits of life are there. And all you can be is like happy to sit in silence or happy to let them talk for as long as they want to talk, right? And it's hard because you kind of want to smother people that you care about,
Yeah.
right? But you can't. But every day you're sending a wee text here and there. How's it today? You holding up? And then it's that whole busyness thing. And then it's arrangements and it's just running about. And then it's those couple of days in between. Then it was the funeral, right? And we went to the funeral. And it was amazing in the respect that we actually couldn't get up into the car park of the crematorium in the cars because there were so many cars, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of those crematoriums where it's full, it's heaving, and everybody's then in the foyer of the creme, and then there's people
Outside.
just standing in the absolute howling wind and rain. And so I was there and it was sad. It was sad for a whole host of reasons, right? It was really sad. It was somebody that was far too young, a good guy, a funny guy, a larger-than-life character, and all of that. And you stand and you watch people that you care about dotted around the place break their heart. And then they're watching you break your heart, like the people that you know and the people that know them are breaking their heart for their pain, right? And then what I was kind of thinking about this at the weekend where here's what I noticed on both those days, right? On Tuesday, I seen the resilience in someone to still sit, talk, be conversational, have a laugh, get a wee bit into the old them and then out, because it was what they had energy for. And then on Friday, I watched the same characteristics in people as they all stood for each other. And see the world right now, the world's a terrible, terrible place, right?
Horrible place.
I'm absolutely, I was actually thinking about writing a bit in my new show about how everyone thinks it's really important to tell you what they think about something that's of no fucking concern to them, right? And I'm like that. Why don't you all just shut the fuck up?
You should. That'll be such a good bit.
Like, can we just discuss like men being angry at Taylor Swift fans?
That's
Fuck off,
Does my
right?
tits in.
Give me fucking peace, mate. You look like a thumb.
Honestly, it's that thing of people have. What I've been talking to my mum about, especially with like Palestine and things like that that are happening, is that like people be like just such passing comments and then going, aye, but that's my opinion. And I'm like, well, defend your opinion because you can't just say...
I am entitled to an
my opinion. Well, have the fucking brains and...
entitled to slag.
Like,
also, like, nobody fucking cares.
To like back it up because you can't just go around spouting shite with no fact or no
in fairness,
defence.
in their defence, we had a fucking government do it for long enough.
Exactly.
We had a fucking guy that sat in Downing Street who's like, I'm really sorry. You're only sorry once you get caught, you fat.
Oh, no, behaviour. My dad, like, we talk.
So hold on,
No,
I'll
go,
just
go, go,
finish
go,
that
go.
wee bit where you then stand and in an absolute moment of darkness for so many people. And for you, you see this wonderful love and resilience. And you see somebody standing, describing a life. And you see people up the back smirking and laughing because they're like, aye, that's it. Aye, you're bang on. And you see people at their fucking lowest and their worst, but they just have this strength. And you go, you know what? The world is brutal and it's a terrible place, right? But the world's always been a terrible place, right? Look, that's another thing I'm going to talk about in the show, how nostalgia.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a thing. Oh my God. I tell you, Steve, back in the day, you could leave your door open. That's because you'd fuck all to steal.
It's because you were stealing somebody else's telly.
It's because it would take 6 fucking rugby players and a crane to steal a bastard in telly. Tellies were huge, right?
Honestly.
So it's like that, and then you see that and you go, this is all very sad. And I don't know if I'm at an age where, you go to more funerals and you do weddings, right? Or if I'm just at a point in time where it's just been pretty shit for a wee while and people just, there's not a lot of good news floating about, right?
Yeah.
But then you go, well, here's good news. Here's hundreds of people
Literally.
for one person.
It's gorgeous.
And here's everybody back raising a glass. Here's people standing outside a pub that they drank in with their heads bowed. Here's an old guy that was a neighbour who took off his hat and gave a wee. Here's another pub where people just stand in their black ties and bow their heads, and you go, you know what? That's people. That's nice.
Community.
That's
Yeah.
respect,
Yeah.
and it's all those things. So I think, and it's been a really sad couple of weeks. But you know, you kind of go, I need to make peace with the sadness. So how do you do that? And I think it's through looking at those with kind of love and strength and resilience. And another thing that struck me through all of this was I came from like a family unit of like 4 or 5, if we include my nana, right? And then I've been in relationships where people have a family unit and it's their nucleus of the family, and that is the centre of the universe, and there's like family friends. I've never really been in a situation where I have seen a family and then the kind of children of that family and then the extended and cousins and all of that, right? And I've never had that. I've never really seen it. I've seen it in the sense that my mates have had it, or like I've been at someone's wake or rosary or whatever it may be, and that's a thing, right? But never just to like walk into a room and see a pile of pictures. Oh, Auntie such and such was down and we were going through, or we were picking songs and just stuff like that. And you're like, there's something, that's where you really see the benefit of family. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's more than that. And when you've not had that and you witness it firsthand, you're like, oh, that's like, not only are you a close family as a 4, you're actually a close family with the 4+ extensions, but then you're actually a mob. Do you know what I mean? Where aunties, cousins, both sides of the family, they come in, they go round, they protect, you know, they just put big arms round each other, and you're like, what a beautiful thing to be part of.
I think that was
We've still got
something
time, that's fine.
when it was my 21st last year, and my mum was like, I think you should have a big party, because my mum loves organising stuff like that.
And she's very good at it.
She's good at it. She loves it.
I know, I was gutted I missed it.
But I was just a bit like, oh, I can't be arsed. I kind of hate birthdays. I like just doing small things to myself. And then when I looked back on it, I was like, that's going to be one of those, I feel quite emotional. I was like, that's going to be, after everything you said, I was like, that's going to be one of those things that are like, my Davey's 21st and Auntie Kathleen was there. She was up dancing, she wasn't dancing. But it's like, stories like that are so important, and like,
I also documented the full night.
yeah, literally.
Emma live.
Like,
I've got all videos.
yeah, and like, I think when it's times like that, and like,
That's what you remember.
I just think like
A wee core
money
memory.
can be like so temporary that I'm like, fuck it, just
spend
fuck
the
your
money.
savings, like just spend it now, because
Yeah.
I'm like, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
No, you don't. And do you know what? I think it is that thing. Like, I'll never forget my wedding when. So I didn't know that my wife would be wearing a dress, right? And it was in St Luke's in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Love St.
Did you
Luke's.
think
We were
she'd wear
talking about
a
this the
suit?
other day.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I told her to like just wear whatever she was going to be comfortable in, right? So I was clearly going to be in a suit, and we did
Not the white dress.
no,
no,
the
Susie.
white dress. It was second marriage, and I thought it'd be a bit hypocritical.
Sinner.
And so our niece and nephew were there, right? And they're just fucking gorgeous and they're great. And they went in first. So we had 100 people, 10 tables of 10 downstairs. And then we had people in the balcony, right? Where it was just like, go and sit where you
My
can.
pal's about to get married there on Friday, and I'm buzzing. It's
amazing.
gorgeous.
Beautiful venue.
So we done your seats upstairs, your seats downstairs, right? And there was 2 table plans. Well, not a table plan for upstairs, but it was just a list of like, here's your table if you're downstairs. So it's obviously family, close friends. And then it was like, we couldn't really differentiate between our friends, right? But Nicola had like 3-4 tables of family. And I only had my mum there because my dad was in hospital and my brother couldn't make it. So I had like a family table that was close friends and stuff of mine. So it was quite difficult because you didn't want people to feel that they were a lesser. They weren't.
yeah.
It was just a fit in. So I was in what is the green room at St Luke's, and then the celebrants came round to get us. And I'm standing, and the wedding coordinator, Alison, God bless her, at St Luke's, she was like in control. She was like, you're there, face there, blah, blah, blah.
That's what you need at these things.
Totally. And I actually thought my wife was upstairs with her person, right? So kids have walked in. Then I get moved into position. I walked in, right? And there was this massive like cheer, right? And it was lovely. And then I remember standing and I was facing the organ. And I heard this like gasp, right, of 180 people. And I turned round and there's an amazing picture, I'll send you it, right, of my best mate looking at me as I look and see my soon-to-be wife walking in. And it's genuinely one of the best pictures you'll ever see, right?
I love that.
Because it's total shock. and this absolute roar that came through that building, and I was just like, and I was roared like it was such a great wedding, and it was, and everybody like always talks about it, but do you know, it was like my brother's best friend was there, and I've known Tony since I was 6, and he said, I have never been at a wedding where I have felt so much love in a room,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, oh, that's lovely. And he still talks about it. And I remember kind of saying to somebody at the wedding who's important to me, who's a little bit estranged from people in his life, and I was like, you know, let this room be testament that your friends can be your family, you know.
Yeah.
100%.
Totally. And it was just this, it was like this wave of love just came at us. And I'll never, like, honestly, I will never forget that moment to the day I die, like, of looking up and seeing her and looking at her and her looking at me and me, like, this picture's an absolute belter, and me just being so shocked. But everybody in that room looking at us,
Pure electric.
but us only just looking at each
Yeah.
other. Do you know what I mean?
Gorgeous.
I'm
and just-
actually very emotional right now.
You're such a emotion.
Oh.
Is this maybe the first actual tears on
This,
this?
I honestly, like, listen to you talk,
I
Susie,
know.
I'm just like this.
No, because my family's very. I'll say it very quickly before we move on. But like, it's a big extended group of people, and it's stuff like
like cousins or pals.
But it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like my sister's best pal and her man, and then like my you know, it'd be aunties that are actually my mum's second cousin, and a woman who's my mum's Zumba instructor, Nicole. She now comes to every single party with her man,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. So God forbid when me and David get married, we're going to have to spend a fucking fortune because there's going to be
I know.
a million people there. But and it's always in my mum's house. And don't get me wrong, every time they have a party, they go, "We're not doing this again. We're not doing this. This is ridiculous." But the amount of
But it's
core
probably a house
people-
that can accommodate a party in the sense that you can be in a number of rooms and it's still sociable.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
yeah.
and there's
Like
never
Nicola's-
anybody there that you go, "Why the fuck are you here?" Or
No.
"Who's that?" Or blah blah blah. Like literally, David will be like, my partner will go, "Oh, who's that?" And I'll be like, "Well, she's family, but she's no family, but she's here." And like, I
Yeah.
don't actually know how we know her, but she's just obviously, and we love her and all this. And it's just a beautiful, lovely
Thing.
that happens.
What really struck me the past fortnight was the absolute matriarchy of everyone just migrated to mum's house.
Yeah.
And everyone was there. And, you know, even the person who was bereaved, who was close to the person that passed away, like, she was there. And everybody just went there. And it was a magnet. And I seen two lads, well, one's 30 and one in his 20s, literally just put a protective shield around their grandmother.
Yeah.
You
Love
know,
that.
and it was unspoken.
Yeah.
And it was unsaid. It was like, "Do you want to go and get your card?" And it was like, "Get it tomorrow. It's all right. I'll just stay here the night." You know, or I'll just come down and hang
Yeah.
about, and
Yeah.
just that kind of stuff. And you just go, and let me tell you, it was some week.
Yeah.
So I was
Party.
so dying on Saturday, man. I was so dying on Saturday, and we were all just like sharing stories about trying to piece the night together.
Aye.
And I was like, this is exactly how this was meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody start singing? That's usually what happens at
Oh, there was a
funerals in
wee
my
bit of
house.
sing song. I mean, we ended up like, I woke up and Saturday morning, there was a cousin on the sofa who was like, you know, I was meant to be in Edinburgh for 8 o'clock. It's 9:15, pal. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of that, you know what I mean? All of that absolute shambles. And do you know what, though? That's fine.
They wouldn't have had it any other way when you
No.
like.
Absolutely not. Would have been raging that we were in our beds at like
Yeah.
quarter past 3, stuff like.
Yeah, literally.
So it's only 12:30 when you haven't got your bed. No, I mean,
No, 100%.
one of the guys.
Oh,
so aye.
Susie, we could literally chat away to you about this forever, but we do. We have a time limit, sadly. Right. So I spoke about we do a woman of the week, and I did warn you about this. Now, do you want to present your woman of the week? But before you do that, we always do an intro. Amy always gives us an intro,
Oh, yeah.
but you can't sing this week, so
No,
we'll see.
my God.
So, Susie, you can give Amy a genre,
Or a theme.
Or an
artist
and
that
she
you would
can
like
see if
her
she can
to
like
sing
make up an intro for the Women of the Week segment. She's very good at it.
Well, you say that.
Has my thing to be.
This
my
is like
Women of the Week
this is
No,
no,
it
it doesn't
can
need
be
to be
anything.
connected. But this
Can
is
be
just the
anything.
intro to what you're going to give us with your Women of the Week.
Words.
Words.
Words?
Words. Words.
Use your words, Amy.
Yeah.
Words. That's my thing.
Oh.
My thing. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Words.
I'm really sorry, Amy.
The dictionary definition of woman has changed throughout the years and is now more. Let me find my words.
Amy's still
look
hungover.
for your words.
More.
She's just happy she doesn't have to sing.
Yeah, true.
I know I've been writing about the Bee Gees there. Words.
And is more an idea of what
Oh my God.
is.
No, she's got it. She's going somewhere. You sure
No,
you don't want her
guys.
to do
Mind
the
that
Bee Gees?
time I had to rap, Amy?
Yeah. You know what is so real now is that I have no words in my brain.
Yeah, there is no words in
There
her
is
brain.
no words
Amy
in my
needs her
brain.
bed.
I was
Amy
expecting you to pull out Oasis, to
I
be
thought you were going to
honest.
say Oasis.
Words.
No.
Okay.
So I'm going to make my Woman of the Week my wife.
Oh, lovely.
Because when you see someone and all they do is glue and hold a situation together, and then to stand, and it's not easy. Like, I know I'm a stand-up, right, but it's not easy to stand up and talk to people. And if you don't do that as a job, or if you don't have
100%.
a background in that, and it's not like she has a job where she gives out presentations, and I had absolutely no input to any of the eulogy stuff, right? And she delivered the eulogy. And it was amazing, right? Honestly, it was funny and it was honest. It wasn't this kind of sugar-coated, oh my God, this guy was Batman, right? It wasn't that. It was
Which
really...
is my pet peeve at funerals,
Like,
when
just stop
all of a
it.
sudden they're an
The
amazing
one most
saint of a
wonderful person in the world.
I know,
Yeah.
actually, they were a wee bit of an arse sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's all right, you know?
That's why we love them.
exactly.
And she done this amazing thing where she spoke about their favourite song was That's Life by Frank Sinatra. And then she started to describe them to the cadence of that song. So she was like, he was a
Spain,
footballer, a
yeah.
golfer,
That's
a
amazing.
footballer, a golfer, an angler, a pawn, a king, and
yes.
I was like that. Fair man.
Yeah.
my
Oh,
wife
that's
right
so
there.
Nice, that's
good.
her. And it was, and we kind of spoke about not so much remembering, but I was like, you can always stop and take a minute because no one's expecting a performance.
Yeah.
You just have to go and talk. So if you need to stop and breathe, you stop and you breathe. Like if you want to compose, you do that because we're not on a time. Do you know what I mean? And that was really my only kind of advice, right? And it was like, if you don't want to look at the front row, because obviously that's your nearest and dearest, just look over a mic, right? And you'll always be all right. But that was like it. And she hadn't asked for it. We were just having a conversation. And I stood and I watched her deliver this amazing eulogy. And I was like, and I'd done my nana's eulogy, and it was genuinely one of the hardest things. And she said to me after it the weekend, were you surprised I got through it? And I went, no. She goes, were you surprised it was that good? And I was like, no, because I knew.
Oh.
I knew. I just knew it would be exactly how it was meant to be. You would deliver whatever you had written. And it was honestly like, she had us all laughing and crying simultaneously, and it was amazing. And it's not an easy thing to do a eulogy. I could kind of do my nana's because I kind of just bolted my feet down and it's my job to talk. So it was easy for me. It was just standing in front of a mic talking about somebody that I loved. But that was a really difficult thing, and I just was like, what an absolute
She
hero.
smashed it.
Aye.
Whoop, whoop.
She's done
Oh,
done this
amazing.
great line where she's like, her brother's nickname's Gus. And she goes, many years ago, my brother asked me to do his eulogy, and I went, no, why know him? And he goes, Gus can't spell his own name. Which is an absolute belter of a line when you go, it's only 3 letters, right? It was just belting and just so funny, and kind of the way she spoke about him, like their relationship as a 3, you know, as siblings, because it was just, and their relationship as the 2 brothers, and then it was so well done. So and to do that under those circumstances, unbelievable. It was honestly
amazing.
It was honestly funnier than some comics.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you
Just
know what I
knew
mean?
exactly what bits to hit.
What bits they hit, but that bit with that's life and the
Amazing.
That's really clever as well.
I know. So
She's so
Happily have
linguistic.
her as our woman of the week.
Oh,
She
like,
deserves it.
Aye, and she's just aye.
Just
You know?
class.
And then even in like the Saturday, we were like, oh my God, this happened to Teresa like rolling.
how barely
And I'm like, oh my God, see if he was here, he would be like on the phone right now. What'd you make of that? No danger, man. Like, totally, man. Totally.
amazing.
Right, Susie, before you go, we do one last thing when we've got guests on. We are first and foremost a club.
Yes.
So you have to now state to us, and I think you've done that the whole podcast, but you need to state why you think you should be in the Sad Girls Club.
I think I should be in the Sad Girls Club. Look, because I'm 44. I'm not allowed to be angry anymore because of my heart attack.
So you can only be sad.
So I can only really be sad. And because I just need to go, well, that's just society. That's how it is these days, right? So I think because I've taken it from far to... it's just the way the world, Susan. It's not your world to inherit anymore. I think I should be in for that.
And you need to come in and do some of the intros when I'm hungover.
when you're on it.
I could come in like the sage and be like, this is your future.
Do you think you could do Oasis if she asked you to?
I probably could.
Right.
Do you want to sing us out with an Oasis
redeem
intro?
Go
myself.
for it.
Uh-huh.
Woman, yeah, woman of the way.
That's awful.
Oh, I love that. So
No, it's
good.
good, pal. It's good.
Right, do you think Susie's allowed in the club?
150%.
Yes.
Amazing.
We anti-lesbian in the club.
Not anti-lesbian,
I know.
or anti-Susie.
Anti-lesbian.
I mean, you say. No.
I know. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
Susie.
you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Do you have anything to punt before you go?
Yes, right. I'm on tour with the Merchant of Menace, which is an award-winning show.
Whoop, whoop.
Which was in Glasgow last March, and it's
Yep.
been at the Fringe. The sold-out run in Edinburgh, and a big old room.
Yes, it did.
And now I am on tour with that. So I've still got Aberdeen, Dundee. Jesus, this sounds like a Rangers song. I've got Aberdeen, Dundee, Skye, Berwick and Dumfries to go. Dumfries is actually sold out, so I think Aberdeen's nearly sold out.
We humble brag there.
We humble
Aye.
brag. 2 nights, Dumfries. I don't know what it is with
And
Perth.
you've got your
And then
Glasgow Comedy Festival shows?
Glasgow Comedy Festival shows, yeah. So we have got 3 shows on sale with my new show,
A new show.
Best Behaviour.
Hey.
So we're doing that, and that's the 28th and 29th of March. Now, the 29th has got 2 shows. We've got a matinee on,
Oi, oi.
5 o'clock, because, you know, we all like to be home for match of the day.
Yes.
And we've got the evening show, which is like selling ridiculous, which is 8:30, and we've got the Friday show on the 28th, which is 7:30. Then, when this goes out, this will now be live. My podcast, which
Yes.
With
I think that got announced
is tomorrow morning.
It's
Oh
going
no,
on
it got
sale
announced on Monday.
Going
I
on
got a
sale
wee cheeky
tomorrow,
email.
and then
Goes on
pre-sale.
sale
I've got
tomorrow.
a cheeky email for pre-sale.
Amazing.
Here
I hope
comes
it's
the
Comedy
guillotine.
Festival pre-sale.
It is Comedy
Good,
Festival
just
pre-sale.
Well done, well done.
Yes, so here comes the guillotine. It's a podcast I do with Christopher MacArthur Boyd and Frankie Boyle. It's an absolute riot. Who knew that I would be the grown-up?
You are?
I'm the complete grown-up and I'm just like, stop talking about goblins, man.
Yeah.
So
How did they survive when you were at the Fringe?
Mate, go back and listen to the episodes.
I didn't.
I'd be like, hey guys, how's the episodes going? They're going, yeah, kind of really missing you, Susie. And
You're,
I'm like,
you're an anchor that they need.
because I just go, what? What are you talking about?
There's no question to the
I know.
madness.
That's Amy for us.
Just stop it. So they are going to be. So we've got one in Aberdeen, which is the 1st of March at His Majesty's, and then as part of the Glasgow International Comedy Festival, we are going to be at the SEC Armadillo Tuesday, the 18th of March. Because Glasgow, we can't trust you. We us three on a Saturday night, man. That'll be a riot. Like, my audience are fine this Saturday night, but no, they too. And then we're at the Playhouse on the 22nd of March. So, but if you're in Glasgow, you can get your tickets from the Comedy Festival website or Ticketmaster. The other two venues, Ticketmaster. Sorry, we've went corporate. I had no choice in it. I would just have gave you a raffle ticket.
Beautifully done, Susie. Thank you,
Amazing.
Susie. Guys, you sad girls, you know where to find us. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube. Watch full episodes. I can't be arsed doing the handles. We've went over anyway. Okay, love you. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.